by 3495 Broadway.
Appropriately graceful.
I wasn't looking to move until probably the end of April, which was probably a bad decision because that's when my CD releases, and just figuring all of that out around that time would have been really, really stressful. But a friend of mine, a pianist, posted online about a room available in his apartment about the middle of March, and I just instantly responded because it's very close to the subway, it's in my neighborhood, and it looked great, for what I'm looking for this time, just trying to save up some money so I can eventually get a place my own. This place seemed perfect.
Well, sometimes I joke that we're in a long-distance relationship because it takes an hour to get from my apartment to his. And Harlem and Brooklyn are pretty different in their personalities, so it's our constant fight, but it's not a real fight. It's more just a joke about
You got it.
Brooklyn versus Harlem. And every time he brings me to somewhere cool in Harlem, I'll say it's like Brooklyn.
I feel like between playing and cooking, you must have really strong hands. I don't think mine are that strong.
I could just bench press anything with these thumbs.
We make it all very even about where we spend our time. So if there's 2 days in Brooklyn, the next 2 days are going to be in Harlem, and that's that. Which I think is actually kind of a reflection of how we are with each other, which is very more like partners than like, there's no games, which is hard to find in New York or in life.
I met Sarah about a year ago when I was performing on Chris's graduate recital at the Manhattan School of Music. She was in the audience.
It was a big orchestra, but he did have a few solos in there. I was definitely paying attention to him.
We went out for food and drinks afterwards, and we started talking, and it was very natural.
And that's when he learned that my dad is a musician, so I think we had a little bit to talk about right off the bat because of that. I spent a lot of time as a kid, either listening to my dad practice or sitting, in the audience, waiting for him to be done.
Her father teaches at the Berklee College of Music in Boston.
He plays bass.
And believe it or not, it really makes things a lot easier because she understands the world of a musician. It's not an easy thing for a lot of people to get what that entails, and she does.
Yeah, so everyone tells me how different it was in New York 10, 20, 30 years ago, and obviously there's the factors like cost of living's gone up a lot, and it's a lot harder for musicians. The gigs aren't paying any more than they were 20 years ago, so I've heard. And obviously the decline of the record industry has made it really hard for a lot of musicians who previously could rely on, first of all, money to get their records made and tour support, and a lot of the things that the musicians had on their side to really get their music out there are just gone.
New York City used to be this cultural mecca of musicians where it would be somewhat affordable to live and all these places to play, and today it's very much not like that. Yet a lot of musicians, we're all still holding on to New York as if it's still this place. And it's this place because we're all still here, but it's very much changed. If all the musicians decided to get up and leave, New York would just kind of continue on the path that it's going. The
grind is exhausting and rewarding at the same time, and it's for me a lot of it's logistical. I'm taking my bass on the subway 20 times a week, and physically that just wears you down, and a lot of the gigs don't pay, and that's something that's was very new to me. I mean, in Australia we have the luxury of, it's not like gigs pay a lot better, but there's more of them and there's less competition obviously, so I came from a kind of pretty relaxed, easy musician lifestyle to a very extreme, and it punishes you. And I feel like I've grown a lot from that, but at the same time, it's worn me down, as I said. But I really see that the positives of being here, such as being around so many great musicians all the time, being able to see whatever music you want any night of the week, is a real luxury that I tend to take for granted. I sometimes have to remind myself that that's why I'm here. So I'm still really loving being here, but I can't advocate this lifestyle to anyone.
Could you see yourself doing something else?
I don't think I would try and do something else, but I definitely have got to the point where I feel like I'd be better off in another city. I would still be playing music, I think, but the pressure that doesn't stop here is it's kind of relentless. And I'm 36 now, so it's kind of a point like, do I really want to be doing this when I'm 40. And by doing this, I mean taking my bass around to, $50 gigs. I just don't know if I could see myself doing that. So it's a struggle, and everyone knows it, and I'm certainly not the first one to experience it or vocalise about it.
Like the 60s and the 70s were such a amazing time for all kinds of art, but that was a time when you could pay, $25 to live in a Chelsea loft a month. Makes it a little bit more doable. And, I've heard people call artists lazy and that freelance lifestyle, so you mean you get to sleep in every day? It takes such an incredible amount of energy and persistence that I really respect everyone who's able to pull through and make it work. And I hope that people keep doing it.